The nonprofit group StopAntisemitism.org has compiled their annual list of top 10 anti-Semites, and it's quite the list. Take a look there. If you look here on the list, you see Hasan Piker, or also known as, well, you know Hasan Piker. You see Cori Bush, Jackson. Oh, this is a good one, right? You know, you see Jackson Hinkle, you see Greta Thunberg, you see John Cusack, Candace Owens, Dan Bilzerian, Jess Natali, Jake Shields, and Bessem Youssef. Now, Hasan Piker, also known as Hassan Abi, you've seen on this channel before. Cori Bush, you've seen on this channel before. Greta Thunberg, I actually interviewed maybe 3 days ago. No, last week, last Wednesday. Candace Owens, you've seen on this channel. Notice the pattern here. I'm not saying, oh, anyway, let me not tell you what I'm not saying. Let me tell you what I am saying. This list is quite interesting. And we'll get to why it's interesting in a minute. But they're serious about this list. There's a whole page dedicated to the list, and it gives a little bio about each finalist and who they are. And of course, they call them Jew haters. Last year, the winner of their holiday contest was Rashida Tlaib, Representative Rashida Tlaib. The page also has past winners going back to 2019. That year, when they first started the award, the winner was Ilhan Omar. Are you noticing a pattern here? Now, here's what this nonprofit group posted on X. They said last year, Rashida Tlaib swept the vote. This year, 10 new Jew haters are competing for the dishonor. Help us pick the top 3 to be announced on December 15th, with the ultimate Jew hater crowned on January 6th. Interesting, 2025. Now, first thing I think we have to say, more than anything else, in my opinion, is that anti-Semitism is a very real phenomenon, and it's a very dangerous phenomenon. It's a very disgusting phenomenon. And anybody who is an anti-Semite, anybody who is a Jew hater, anyone who harbors any ill will, hate, animus, disrespect, disregard, whatever, toward the Jewish community, they should be held accountable. There's no excuse for anti-Semitism. What's interesting here, though, is that the people on the list who I know, and again, I don't know the story of each of these people, but I can tell you Bessem Youssef has merely been an advocate for Palestine. I can tell you that Hasan Piker has been someone who has challenged the genocide in Gaza. I can tell you Cori Bush is someone who has gone to the mat, risked her life, her career, her professional and social circles to speak out against what's happening in Gaza. Greta Thunberg has been, obviously a big climate activist and has also been at demonstrations around the world. So it's interesting to see this list come out, but the Candace Owens choice, I think, is somewhat fascinating because in the case of Candace, there have been moments where, her clash with Ben Shapiro, her clash with Ben Shapiro has been very publicized, but so has her clash with at least 2 rabbis, right? Obviously Rabbi Shmuley, but also Rabbi she had on her former show, Michael, is it Barclay? She's had a very interesting career on this issue. And so there are moments where you could say, okay, her Hitler comment, while taken a little out of, it wasn't taken out of context, her Hitler comment, which was read in the worst possible light, was absolutely wrong to say. It was awful what she said. It was disgusting what she said. Even if I think she was putting a little too much dip on her chip analytically, I think ultimately what she said was historically inaccurate and dangerous and harmful and hurtful to Jewish people. But she's not in trouble for that here. She has said things about Rabbi Shmuley and other people who who I think Rabbi Shmuley does awful things and says awful things. I think they were awful to her, but you know, there are moments where even calling someone a hag or a witch, you know, who's Jewish plays into certain tropes and stereotypes. So I get that anxiety there. Whether you think it's anti-Semitic or not, I'll leave that to other people to decide. But again, that's not what she's being challenged for. She's being called Anti-Semite of the Year for criticizing Israel. She's being called Anti-Semite of the Year for saying that innocent children in Gaza don't deserve to die. She has challenged Israel and challenged the orthodoxy of the right on this issue. And for that reason, she has been called an anti-Semite. So I just want y'all to watch the list and see and see the there's a complexity to how this issue is being played out. And I don't want y'all to make any mistake about that.